was the season for it. Sergeant Tartaglia was happy because I had not only given him permission to leave the room, I'd told him to go out and take a walk with Santa Claus. And everyone knows that Santa Claus is always happy, even if once upon a time he had to spread his glad tidings around Sing Sing. I considered it a while, and then I decided to inhale the bloom of Christmas as it filtered through police headquarters. And it made me feel happy, too. It lasted for 2 inhales.
The sign on the door says Lieutenant Danny Clover. I don't believe in signs. What's your name?
What's yours?
I came prepared for a question like that. Here's my card.
Thanks. Simon Larrabee, real estate and rentals. You renting something, Mr. Larrabee?
That would give you the upper hand. 2 questions to my 1. And you haven't answered it yet.
Danny Clover, like the sign says. That's my name.
You're quite right. I am renting something.
Go ahead. Rent away. I like to watch.
I'm doing it now. Just looking at you. I'm renting that property known as the Warehouse at 2290 East Grand Street.
Well, if it makes you happy... Wait a minute. That's our clubhouse. That's where the kids are having our Christmas party.
Are you?
What's the...
What else can it be? Where's the rent?
Rent for what?
Rent for that property known as the Warehouse at 2290 East Grand Street.
You mean it hasn't been paid? How much is it?
It's $62.50 a month. Oh, that includes utilities.
I'll pay it. The club's treasurer will reimburse me.
You don't understand, Mr. Clover. When I rent something, I get a year's rent in advance. That comes to $750. And I want it before there's any party there.
Are you kidding? Why are those kids going to get money like that?
Oh, well, I'll give you until 8 o'clock to get the money, and I'll just sit right here until then.
All right. Grab yourself a police gazette.
Never touch the stuff.
Suit yourself. Oh, excuse me, Simon. Danny Clover speaking.
Danny, this is Patrolman Curcio.
Yeah, what is it? I can hardly hear you, Curcio.
Yeah, well, no wonder. Listen what I gotta talk through. Listen, Danny. Hey, you see what I mean?
Why the sirens? What's the trouble?
Sergeant Tartaglia is up a tree.
What?
Sergeant Tartaglia is in a tree on the Avenue 8 playground, Danny. He flipped his lid. He's telling anyone that'll listen that there ain't no Santa Claus. Hey, you better come on down, Danny.
When I got down to the Avenue A playground, it was having the Christmas party of its life. A 30-foot tree complete with tinsel, candy canes, colored popcorn balls, firemen, and a scared sergeant policeman, forlorn and lost, pinned to its top branch. The fire department finally convinced Tartaglia that a ladder was a safe invention for getting down out of tall trees. At the bottom rung, he almost believed it. When his feet touched the ground, they gave him a blanket because he was suffering from shock. He was about to tell the newsreel boys his ordeal when I faced him.
Oh, Danny, I was about to tell the newsreel boys my ordeal.
Oh, just tell me first, Tartaglia, because I hardly ever get to the movies.
I'll be with you in just a minute, sir. Oh, Danny, it was awful. It was something awful.
I only ask this because there's so much about you I don't know, Tartaglia. Why do you climb trees?
Oh, I don't, Danny. The height scares me. When I was a child, a tree threw me on the ground.
Still, you climbed this tree. Why?
Oh, because I'm a policeman.
That makes sense. But how?
Well, sure it does, Danny. The kids see me, I am a policeman. They need to put a star on top of their Christmas tree. They ask me because I am a policeman and can do such things. I couldn't let the department down, Danny.
So you leave Nick Norman alone, all by himself, because you don't want to let the department down.
Oh, I knew you would say that. But I trusted Nick because he is Santa Claus. He told me I could trust him.
Sure you can, Tartaglia. But what happened to Santa Claus? He's not around.
That's right. There ain't no Santa Claus, like I've been saying.
They told me you were saying that. What happened to him, Tartaglia?
Well, Danny, whilst I was up in the tree pinning the star, below me I saw a big black bulletproof sedan.
What kind?
A big black bulletproof sedan.
Now I know. Then what happened?
Well, this big black bulletproof sedan stopped by Nick, our Santa Claus. 2 men got out, talked to him for a minute, then took him one by each arm, deposited him in the car, closed the door, and away they sped, careening on 2 wheels. I yelled to them to stop, Danny. But I guess they didn't hear me on account of the hustle and bustle.
Our Santa Claus, Tartaglia. Where is he? Where'd he go?
Well, if I was Santa Claus, I know where I'd go.
Not that it matters, but where?
Well, to my mother. On Christmas Eve, she deserves something like that.
I'm sure she does.
So we have you now, Sergeant Tartaglia?
Oh, make good in the newsreels, Tartaglia. This may be your big chance.
Yeah?
Are you Mrs. Norman?
Why?
I'm Danny Clover.
Yeah?
May I come in, Mrs. Norman?
Why?
I want to talk to you.
About what?
About Nick, about your son.
Come in.
Thanks.
In here, in the parlor. Sit down.
Thank you.
No, not on that seat, that one. What do you want to talk about Nick?
Do you know where he is?
No, you don't tell me no more. One day when he was 9 years old, Nick said to me, he said, "Ma, don't ask me where I've been no more, 'cause I'll lie to you." That's what he said.
Then you don't know where he is.
Don't make me go through that again, Sonny. Say, who are you to ask me questions?
I told you I was...
Yeah, you did. You said you're Danny Clover. That don't mean nothing to me. Oh, you must be the guy come about,
I am. That's why I came.
Well, you tell me what you come here for.
For, you know, just as you said.
Oh, this I like. This lets me play cagey like in the old days. What are you talking about?
You know your son, Nick.
You gotta squirm more than that, kiddo. What about Nick?
We want him to be our Santa Claus.
Bingo.
That's good.
Oh, it must be a good feeling, a young man like you. Big, strong, looking for Santa Claus. Me? I just sat here in my rocking chair.
Mrs. Norman.
Thinking about the times we had, me and Big Ed, my husband. The time...
I have to go now, Mrs. Norman. Where's your son?
Oh, you made me go through it again. One day, when he was 9 years old, Nick said to me...
Yeah, well, thanks,
Ma,
Mrs. Norman.
don't ask me where I've been.
Hi, Danny. Did you find Santa Claus?
No, Tartaglia. What are you doing about it?
Me? Nothing.
That's good. Anyone to see me?
Yeah, in your office. Hey, Danny, what are you angry at me for, huh, Danny?
Hey, Danny, what's this I hear about Santa Claus taking a powder?
You'll get your Santa Claus, Marty. You still here, Simon Larrabee?
Yes, I'm waiting. Just as I told you, I'm waiting for my $750 rent.
Can you imagine this kind of Danny? On Christmas Eve, he wants his rent. This is a Christmas, no Santa Claus, no party. What am I going to tell my constituents?
It'll work out, Marty. We'll get the money someplace.
By 8 o'clock, Mr.
Oh,
Clover.
shut up, Simon.
But, Danny, no Santa Claus.
Hold it, everybody. I got the solution. Communications, this is Sergeant Tartaglia in Danny Clover's office. An all-points bulletin. Pickup man. Description as follows. Height, 5 feet 11. Weight, 235. When last seen, was wearing a red suit, a red hat with bells, and black boots. Identifying marks. Has a long, snow-white beard. What's his name? Santa Claus!
You are listening to Broadway's My Beat, starring Larry Thor as Detective Danny Clover.
From 71 years ago, December 24th, 1949, Broadway is My Beat on Classic Radio Theater. Want to thank Richard Mingy for his very nice Christmas card. He usually sends us postcards, but he sent us a really nice Christmas card, and I want you to know I really appreciate it. And we have other people who have sent us emails. I'm not going to have time to get into those folks today, but I thank you all. Your comments and your emails, your contact through classicradio.stream is appreciated. A very, very Merry Christmas to you. The news from this date, 71 years ago, will be coming up in just a few moments, right here on Classic Radio Theater. All right, my Classic Radio Theater listeners, you know for 3 years I've been talking about MyPillow, how Mike Lindell's MyPillow gave me the best night's sleep of my life, and it still does. And I have to tell you, you cannot do better than a MyPillow. It will never go flat. Wash and dry, they'll maintain their shape, and they are 100% made in the USA. And just in time for Christmas shopping, Mike Lindell is offering his premium MyPillows, the original MyPillow, just like the one I have on my bed, for its lowest price ever. A standard or queen-size premium MyPillow, a $69.98 value for just $29.98, a $40 savings. And you can get a king-size pillow if you got the big bed. You can get that for just $5 more. Folks, this is the time to get a MyPillow. You're getting the lowest price ever, but also that 60-day money-back guarantee, it's extended all the way to March 1st, 2021. So it's perfect for Christmas giving. Whoever you're giving it to gets the full 60-day money-back guarantee. And, of course, a 10-year warranty, and they are made in the USA. Hey, how do you do better? Go to MyPillow.com, click on the radio offer square, use my promo code USA, and there you'll find not only this amazing offer, but also deep discounts on all the MyPillow products, Giza Dreams bed sheet, the mattress topper, Islas, a MyPillow for the rest of your body. The MyPillow towels, which are amazing. Also, you can get dog beds for your pet, hand sanitizer, beach towels, and the roll-and-go pillows are sweet. Go to MyPillow.com, click on the radio listener special, use my promo code USA, or call 1-800-951-8175. Get that big savings on MyPillow. And thanks for joining us on this Christmas Eve edition of Classic Radio Theater. We're listening to an episode of Broadway Is My Beat starring Larry Thor, as it was broadcast Saturday, December 24th, 1949. In the newspapers of that Saturday, 71 years ago, these were some of the headlines. The government took emergency action yesterday to keep trains running despite the curb John L. Lewis has clamped on coal production. It gave the carriers first call on coal produced in mines which normally provide them with such fuel. The order, designed to avert transportation breakdowns in the wintry weeks ahead, was issued as the holiday travel season got underway. President Truman told Pope Pius XII in a Christmas message that despite the leaders of a few nations, most of the world's peoples today are living indeed as good neighbors. And among men of goodwill, Truman said, efforts are going forward to persuade and encourage leaders who do not follow the path of friendly relations to permit their people to live also as good neighbors. In reply, Pope Pius lauded the work of the American people for peace and called for, quoting, a peace which is real and solid, just as enduring among all mankind. Meanwhile, on the eve of the 25th Roman Catholic Holy Year, Pope Pius XII invited all believers in Jesus Christ now outside the Catholic fold to return to the one true church for a union against militant atheism. His words clearly directed toward Protestants and Greek Orthodox Church members. Russia has indicted 12 Japanese army officers on charges of plotting to use germ warfare in World War II, that from Radio Moscow. The man identified as chief plotter, identified by the radio as Lieutenant General Izo Shiro of the Japanese Medical Corps, was not named in the indictment. A Polish military court yesterday convicted 4 French nationals, a Pole and a German, on spying charges and sentenced them to prison terms ranging from 6 to 22 years. Up in Louisville, Georgia, cops arrested a man and boy and charged them with stealing a car in West Virginia in order to drive to Florida to steal oranges for Christmas. The commanding officer at Millington Naval Air Technical Training Station near Memphis has a present he can't open until Christmas. The unusual in this case is that the present just caught up with him. Seems it was mailed in 1941. A Moultrie, Georgia thief raided a family's icebox for the 3rd time within a week. He left 2 bottles of cherries and a note. I don't like cherries. Next time, leave some olives, please. Those are a few of the day's top news stories as reported in the newspapers of Saturday, December 24th, 1949. On your radio, Larry Thor, starring in Broadway Is My Beat. The conclusion comes up next on this Christmas Eve edition of Classic Radio Theater.
Can you believe after all the recent violent protests, looting, and destruction, some communities are considering either defunding or abolishing the police? If you agree that now is the time when police protection is needed most, then it's time we stand up and support your local police and the communities they serve. Call 800-JBS-USA-1 and request your free Support Your Local Police info packet. That's 800-JBS-USA-1 and request your